Hi everybody. I thought I would go ahead and get a little video recorded to welcome you to quarter one. I'm hoping you are seeing my big screen here and I'm down here in the corner. So I'm going to start by talking about the syllabus for a minute. So if you go into your Canvas course, many of you have already done this, but let's go over it real quick here anyways. You'll get a link to a downloadable syllabus here. Other than that, the way you want to move around in Canvas is from modules. So syllabus should come up as your home course. That's a good tab to use. But then use modules. If you start using files or any of these other things over here, or assignments, you're gonna find yourself in weird places and not in the correct week for what is actually due that week. Okay? So now let's go back to the syllabus for a minute. I have my paper version here and I just want to talk to you about a couple of things. We are going to be doing a few large assignments this quarter and then lots of reading that's just ongoing. In the syllabus, the first one you come to is reading checks, number 1. That is like the quizzes from the book chapters, maybe from things we've talked about online or activities we've done, but largely those come straight out of the textbook. Number 2 in the syllabus is your professional dispositions or your class participation. That's just your typical, are you staying up to date? Are you contributing to the discussions? Those kinds of things. Okay, number 3 is your first big one, and that's a field trip. You are going to go to the children's section of a public library. While you're there, you're going to draw a little map of just the children's section. I don't need to see the whole library, just what does the children's section look like at the particular library where you are visiting. Then there's some questions to answer. All of this will be in the assignment in Canvas, okay? The fourth thing is the multicultural picture book analysis. So we are going to have done some reading by the time you get to this about multicultural books and picture books together, separate and together. And then you are going to analyze one, and then you're going to publish what you write, and maybe you'll do some artwork, whatever you decide to do to communicate your learning about the picture book and multicultural genre on your blog. All right. Okay, number 5 is the big one. 5 and 6. 5 is the practice notebook connection entries. So these will come up as assignments from me in your modules as we move through the quarter. So notebook connections is that little book. Let me grab my book. This little book. This is your notebook connections book. This is full of reading response kind of activities. They're called strategies. So when I give you one of these as an assignment, I'm going to be asking you to complete it as if you are a student, like a 4th grader, a 5th grader, depending on what kind of book you've read and what kind of activity it is. But I want you to do it from a student's perspective, so you'll see the value in actually completing the assignment. I don't want to hear, well, when I'm a teacher, I'll ask my students to do it this way, or I would have students do this and it would turn out like that. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for you to do this as the student, and I will remind you about that when we get to the first one of those that we're going to complete. Those will be considered like a class assignment because we don't have weekly classes. There's going to be some things come up in your modules that are going to be considered like a class assignment, because if we were having class, we would do these in person together. Okay, number 6. This is the last big one. Well, second to last big one here. This is your children's literature, your reading notebook. So if you were taking this class on campus, everybody does this reader's notebook, reading notebook, and it's where you respond to the literature that you are going to read this quarter. Because we're doing an online class, I decided to try this blog format as a way to share out our thoughts instead of you guys submitting me these really large documents every week and nobody gets to see them except me. On the blog, we all get to see them, we all get to share. So there's a lot of instructions here about that, but the rubrics will tell you exactly what we're looking for. I am going to be scrolling through your blogs because I'm going to follow them every week. But you are responsible for your learning. You are responsible for getting your stuff uploaded and coming away from this class with a really good feel for children's literature, how to use it in your classroom. I would love to be able to walk up to any one of you at the end of this quarter and say, hey, I need you to teach a unit on American Revolution. What children's literature should we use? And bang, you would just know that. So that's what we're looking for. We want this familiarity with the literature that's out there, what's available, what do you like, what don't you like. That's why the blog is great, because this is all really very personal. Okay, so a big thing to remember is the activity about classroom applications. This is still part of the reader's notebook in your blog. When I want you to put a paragraph or two giving a useful classroom application for one of your books, it could be one of these notebook strategies. It could be an anchor chart that you created, not an anchor chart you went out and copied from Pinterest. I mean, you can get the idea from Pinterest, but I want you to actually create it and take an original photo of it and put that on your blog. It has to be your work. Some sort of, field trip, a guest speaker, some sort of useful, fun, student engaging connection, not a worksheet. Okay, I am not looking for, I took all the vocab from this book and I made a crossword. Not a worksheet. I want a highly engaging, learner-centered activity for that part. If I have to remind you as we move through the quarter about that, I will, because I realize there's a lot of instructions in this syllabus as we get started. Okay, number 7 in the syllabus under the activities and things we do this quarter is the directed listening thinking activity, DLTA. This is a read aloud lesson. You can use one of the books that you're using for your reviews in your blog, for your reader's notebook. There's a reflection that you're going to do after you've taught this little read aloud lesson. We're going to get into this later. I will give a whole lot more instructions coming up. Okay, the storytelling folktales, number 8. That is something that we're going to do weekly, kind of together. Like each week on your module, there will be something about a traditional tale. I'm going to try to find read alouds on like YouTube that we can all watch, so we have all, like, we're going to pretend like we're in class together. If we were, I would read the book to you. Because we're not, I'll try to find many of them. I'm going to find where the author's reading it aloud, send you the link. You'll all watch that and we'll have a common experience. And then from that experience, you're going to add to a slideshow that will be cumulative over the quarter. So you'll start adding these slides each week. Again, this is an activity we would be doing in class if we had class, but we don't. So you'll just be building this collection as the quarter moves forward. The final for this class is the literature engagement project. That's number 9 in your syllabus. That's the last thing. That is what we call a text set, and it's going to require a whole other video for instructions, but it's the final. So don't panic about that yet. What you need to be focusing on right now is getting your blog going, starting the reading requirements for each genre, and your little annotations and your blog posts. And then I think that field trip comes up kind of soonish. So that's where I want you to focus right now. I want you to understand that each week I'm going to try to put out one of these little videos that's going to say, okay, here's what we're doing this week, and I'm going to give all of these instructions that I just gave way too fast again. So you'll have it in the week in which you need it. I am not going to publish modules very far ahead. Last quarter on the online class, I had students trying to get way far ahead. That doesn't work out because I'm never really quite sure. We might tweak some things based on the needs of the class, and if some of you have gotten way too far ahead, that's just not a good plan. So the modules will open on the Monday of the week. So this week I realized class didn't officially start except, just yesterday on Thursday, and this week 1 is done on Sunday. But all I really needed you to do was do that discussion board post about children's books. I needed you to do the reading. As you can see on the screen here, I need you to do this reading, your discussion book, your discussion board, and get your blog made. And then do a little short blog post about yourself and get the link to me. And then we're working on that Google Doc. Where did I put that Google Doc? Somewhere there's a Google Doc that you guys are adding to, you have access to, I think it's in a discussion, you have access to the Google Doc, and you should be able to go in and edit it with your hyperlink, because in the end, we can all use that document to follow each other in our blogs. So everybody will have their own blog, but also be following the other 25 students plus me. So you'll have your own blog and 26 others to follow each week, so you can kind of see everybody's feed as it goes by. So that's it for this week, and the first one where you introduce yourself is actually not due until next Sunday, not this coming Sunday, but next Sunday. So get your blog made. If you get it made, go ahead and do this one where it says introduce yourself right here, even though it's not due till the following Sunday. It wouldn't hurt to get that done. If you're having troubles with your blog, this discussion post right here is where I'd like you to post those questions, because that way everyone can see the answers as they come up. All right. So week 2 starts Monday. I am not going to put that in this video. What I will do is I'll make a new video. I'll publish, see this module that shows up on my screen. It does not show up on your screen because it's not published yet. This little video that is for week 2 will be right here under the summary. You'll click on that and then click on the link to the video that pertains to week 2. But this won't turn green for you guys until Sunday night or Monday, because I want you to get this stuff done. Spend some time on the syllabus. If you're really, really anxious to get some work done, then go to Appendix A in the syllabus and start the reading for the quarter. So this class has a lot of reading. There's a lot of work in this class, but it's an important class, and we need to maintain the integrity of the program. So even though this is an online class, your requirements are still very, very similar to the students on campus doing this class. You'll talk to students in the education program that have taken the children's lit class, and they're going to go, oh yeah, we did that reader's notebook too. It was a lot of work. But in the end, you will be so glad, because you'll have this fantastic body of knowledge about children's literature. Okay, so you can reach me at michelle.reeves@cwu.edu. I have an office in Black Hall, but this quarter I am largely in Wenatchee. That's where I'm filming from right now. This is my office in Wenatchee. You can see back here. That probably doesn't help most of you as far as coming by to see me, but email me. My cell phone is on the syllabus if you need to text me. I don't love phone calls on my cell phone, but I will take them usually if it's really important. And if you text me and say, hey, I'm one of your students and I'm about to call you, and here's my number, so I'll know who it is. I don't like the answering numbers I don't know. But I will try to get right back to you on an email. That's probably the best. Use the discussion board, though, if it's about the blog. I hope that wasn't way too much information. I'm sure it was way too much information. But in your syllabus, focus on the schedule that gives you like what we're going to do which week. Focus on that. And then focus on that reading Appendix A that gives you all of the genres for Appendix A. And then as you start, the Appendix A looks like this. It has some of the, like I used pictures of the books just to give you ideas. Then on Appendix B, this is the rubric, this one right here. This is the rubric for the blog that you won't get, like you're going to get one gigantic grade for that blog at the end, but I'm going to be following them as we go through the quarter, making notes so that I can help you if I feel like you're starting to get behind on that. Okay, I hope this video was helpful. I'm sure I'm talking too fast because this is way too much information for one video, so I will see you in week 2's video coming up soon. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.